Apollo 11 moon landing, humanity's giant leap. On July 20, 1969, humanity achieved a historic milestone when the Apollo 11 mission successfully landed astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin "Buzz" Aldrin on the Moon, while Michael Collins orbited above. This monumental achievement marked not only a technological triumph but also a symbol of human ingenuity, ambition, and exploration. This video explores the Apollo 11 mission in detail, including its historical context, key figures, scientific objectives, the lunar landing, and its profound impact on science, technology, and society. The historical context. 1. Space race and the Cold War. The Apollo 11 mission occurred within the backdrop of the Cold War rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. The space race was a critical aspect of this competition, with both superpowers vying for supremacy in space exploration. 2. Early space exploration. The United States and the Soviet Union had already achieved significant milestones in space exploration. The Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 in 1957, marking the start of the space age, while the U.S. had launched the first American astronaut, Alan Shepard, in 1961. 2. The Apollo program. 1. NASA's ambitious goal. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy announced the ambitious goal of sending an American astronaut to the Moon and returning them safely to Earth before the end of the decade. This became the Apollo program's overarching objective. 2. Apollo missions. The Apollo program consisted of a series of missions, with Apollo 11 being the fifth manned mission. Previous missions tested various elements of the program, including the spacecraft, lunar module, and rendezvous and docking procedures. 3. Key figures. 1. Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, a veteran test pilot and astronaut, was selected as the commander of Apollo 11. He would become the first human to set foot on the Moon. 2. Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin, also an experienced pilot and astronaut, served as the lunar module pilot. He joined Armstrong on the lunar surface. 3. Michael Collins. Michael Collins, the command module pilot, remained in orbit around the Moon while Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the lunar surface. Collins played a crucial role in the mission's success. The scientific objectives. 1. Lunar exploration. One of the primary scientific objectives of Apollo 11 was to explore the lunar surface, collect samples, and conduct experiments to advance our understanding of the Moon's geology and origins. 2. Testing equipment. Apollo 11 tested critical equipment and procedures for future missions, including the lunar module's descent and ascent stages, the lunar rover, and scientific instruments. The journey to the Moon. 1. Launch and trans-lunar injection. Apollo 11 was launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on July 16, 1969. After achieving Earth orbit, the spacecraft performed a trans-lunar injection burn to escape Earth's gravity and begin its journey to the Moon. 2. Lunar orbit. Once the spacecraft reached the Moon, it entered lunar orbit. Michael Collins remained in the command module while Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin prepared for their descent to the lunar surface. The lunar landing. 1. Descent and landing. On July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin entered the lunar module, named Eagle, and began their descent to the Moon's surface. As they descended, they encountered several challenges, including navigational difficulties and fuel constraints. 2. The Eagle has landed. At 2017 Coordinated Universal Time, Neil Armstrong radioed the famous words, "Houston, Tranquility Base here." The Eagle has landed. The lunar module had successfully touched down in the Sea of Tranquility, a flat and relatively safe landing site. 7. The first moonwalk. 1. Armstrong's descent. Neil Armstrong, as commander, was the first to step out of the lunar module. As he descended the ladder, he famously declared, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." 2. Lunar activities. Armstrong and Aldrin spent approximately 2.5 hours on the lunar surface. They collected samples, conducted experiments, took photographs, and planted the American flag. 8. Return to Earth. 1. Lunar ascent. After a successful lunar module ascent, Armstrong and Aldrin rejoined Michael Collins in the command module. The lunar module was jettisoned, and the spacecraft began its journey back to Earth. 2. Splashdown. On July 24, 1969, Apollo 11 safely splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, concluding its historic mission. The astronauts were recovered by the USS Hornet and underwent quarantine to prevent the potential spread of lunar pathogens. Ix. Scientific and technological impact. 1. Lunar samples. Apollo 11 returned to Earth with over 47 pounds (21 kilograms) of lunar samples, providing invaluable insights into the Moon's composition, geology, and history. The Apollo 11 mission was a watershed moment in human history, demonstrating the boundless potential of human exploration and scientific achievement. It showcased the capacity of individuals and nations to overcome monumental challenges and reach for the stars. As we reflect on the 50th anniversary of this historic mission, we are reminded of the enduring spirit of exploration and discovery that continues to drive humanity to new frontiers. Apollo 11 stands as a symbol of what can be achieved when we aim high, dream big, and work together to achieve the seemingly impossible.